Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to y'all brothers out there on the highways, the byways. There's noise in this world abroad and around the world. Yeah, I just want to go into this lesson, this quick lesson real quick. It's called endurance. When you're in this truth, as I illustrate, as you see on the illustration right here, the clip of Dragon Ball Z, training, you know. But this is how it will look. Well, not look on the outside appearance, but in the inside words as you going through your journey in this truth, you know what I mean? You're gonna have flames, fury, and fire, saying that you're gonna have to go through, when you're in this truth, you know what I mean? So, certain things may come up, like you may lose your job, you may lose your woman, you may have ailments in your body, you know, however it may come, but it's gonna feel like you're in this flame of fire. You're just within, like just in the furnace. It's just gonna be hot. So just have this illustration right here to demonstrate, to give you a visual on how it would feel and how on how you would feel and how you would feel, being in this truth, going through, your journey in this truth. So I just want to just jump right into it. I'm going to go into the Apocrypha. Because, being in this truth is not going to be a light thing. Because, there's going to be certain ailments and certain tragedies that you're going to have to go through, being in this truth. And certain things may come up and certain obstacles that you may have to go through. But what it is that, it's the Most High that's refining you, you know what I mean? He's refining you, he's cleansing you. He's cleansing you from the wickedness and the filthiness and the pollutions of this world. And, and bringing you into a better kingdom, a better light, a better rulership. So that fiery trial is to prepare you and to set your mind up to to what you're about to inherit, Because at the end of the day, you're not just going to get the kingdom handed to you. The Most High is just not going to hand it to you. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is not just going to hand it to you, You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to endure it. And, in order to receive it, Just like the old saying, you don't get nothing, you don't go through something for nothing. So, just going to get right into it. This is the book of Sirach, the 2nd chapter and the 1st verse. It says, "My son, if thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. Set thy heart upright and constantly endure," So what you're constantly enduring, what you're going through in this truth, like I said, earlier, you may lose your job, that's a big thing, not having no money to pay your rent, you may be behind on your bills, your car payments, and all of that comes with it. So that's just, that's not a, light thing, that's what it means, constantly endure. So, or you may lose your woman, you know what I mean? You getting that pleasure, she's giving you, she's giving you sex whenever you want it, whenever you come home from work. But the moment you come into this truth, you know what I'm saying? Everything, all of that changes, She doesn't want to give you, she doesn't want to give you the pussy that she was, that you was getting it before, before you entered in this truth, You notice just everything just changed, She's not giving you the pussy when you want it, she's acting up, arguing with you, You may not see her for a couple of days or however the case may be, or she'll just might end up or more than likely, she'll just leave, Because, once you come into this truth after a certain period of time, your woman, she just ends up leaving, Now you're all alone, You're all alone. You're lonely. There's no, that comfort that you had, is no longer there no more. So that's what it means, constantly endure. You have to endure that, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Don't be quick to, saying, oh, just trying to find a way out of this thing, because there is no way out. Once you come in and you leave, there is no coming back. It all depends what kind of man you are, but at the end of the day, you coming in this truth, being in this truth, there is no turning back. Once you make that oath to the Most High, you make that sacred oath, to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, there is no turning back. So you just got to constantly endure whatever comes your way and defeat that. And cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou may be increasive in at thy last end. Increasive. What does that mean? When you endure to the end, you increase. You know what I mean? You may get that spiritual power. That's what it means, that you may be increased at thy end, because we're just right there. We're at the home stretch at the end. You know what I mean? We're at the home stretch. We're at the home stretch of this thing. So that's what it means. You be increased at the last end. And how you gonna be increased? With that spiritual power and deliverance. You know what I mean? Rulership, the kingdom. That's what it means, that that thou may be increased at thy end. At the end of your course. When you finish your course. Just like when a racer, when a track runner, or however it may be, he could be driving a car, you know what I mean? Or, one of them NASCAR drivers or whatever. Once they finish that lap and they finish, you know what I mean? Whoever's in first place, they get a prize, you know what I mean? They get rewarded, that gold, that gold medal, on top, reward. That's what it means when it says thou may be increased at thy end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be thy patient when thou art changed to a low state. You got to be reduced to a low state. Once you get in this truth, you be reduced to a low state. And being low is just not it's not a light thing. It's not a fun thing, but that's the reality that you're gonna have to face when you're in this truth. It's just not pleasant. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Just like that illustration that I showed you. Vegeta being, all them flames around him. It's hot. That's how it is. I mean, that's the adversity. That's the demonstration. That's an illustration of what you're gonna have to go through. Being in this truth. Just that adversity. All that flames and all that fire represents the adversity. I'm saying, that you're gonna have to go through when you're in this truth. Like I said, maybe a woman, you may lose your job. You may be sick. It's just all types of bad, things will happen to you. Strange things will happen to you being in this truth. So, verse 6, believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way upright and trust in him. Verse 7, ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy and get not aside lest ye fall. What does it mean, not getting out aside? Meaning don't fall off this truth. You know what I mean? Not doing, not doing what you need to do in this truth. Get aside, meaning that, may not be praying or fasting. You got to constantly pray and, you got to fast when you're in this truth. Prayer is a must, you know what I mean? In order for your survival in this truth, you know what I mean? Without that prayer, you know what I mean? Or, you're not fasting, more than likely you're just not going to make it. You know what I mean? You're not going to get by in this truth. So praying and fasting is a must in this truth. You know what I mean? That's the only way you're going to get through it, That's what it means when it says, get not aside least ye fall, So if you're not doing those kind of key things, being in the truth, more than likely you're just gonna fall out, just like, many men that came in this thing and they fell out, because they couldn't take that adversity, they couldn't take that fire, you know. So verse 8, ye that fear the Lord, believe in him, and your reward shall not fail, like I said, your reward, the reward is kingdom, rulership, what I'm saying, the kingdom of heaven, being a king, being rulers of all nations of the earth, y'all should, you know, ye that fear the Lord hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did did ever did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any aside in his fear and was forsaken, or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? You know, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveness of sin, and saveth in the time of affliction. You know what I mean? And he says he saveth in the time of affliction. Because the Most High is not a man that he shall lie, or the Son of Man, you know what I'm saying? So whatever the Lord says, that's what he says. If he says he's going to deliver you from that trouble, he's going to deliver you, you know? You're going to go through it, and, he's going to deliver you out of that situation. But your part is to endure it, what I mean, as long as, however it may take, to endure it, So you're not going to get by, just going through it, you know what I mean? You're going to fall. The way to get by it is that, you pray and you fast. That's the only way you're going to defeat the adversity that you're going through, is praying. So with that, this has been another edition of GMS Tell Like It Is. Want to give all praises to Yahweh, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to you, the apostles of Great Millstone. And salutation to y'all brothers out there on the highways and byways. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.